Welcome to the British Museum. We are going to show you 4 of our galleries where you will be able to appreciate the architecture of the United Kingdom or British architecture.
In the third gallery we can find the Tudor style. The Tudor style in architecture is the final development of medieval architecture during the Tudor period, 1485–1603. Its main features are the Tudor arch, an arc of 4 centers, the oriel window, a distinctive window protruding from the plane of the facade. Moldings and trim constitute frequently more naturalistic foliage. However, the Tudor style is difficult to define, including the implied suggestion of continuity for the duration of the Tudor dynasty and the misleading impression that there was a break at the accession of the Stuarts, James VI, in 1603. In domestic architecture, walls can be found built with wood and masonry ceilings, in the manner of a half chamberlain, literally or more properly in English, wattle and duck. In the 19th century, a free mix of these late Gothic and Elizabethan elements were used in hotels and railway stations, in a revival called Jacobean or mock Tudor.
In the second gallery, we are going to show you the Regency style. This style is reflected in some buildings that were built when George IV was still regent, at the beginning of the 19th century, but after him this style continued spreading around England. It is usually linked with the neoclassical Georgian style of architecture, adding an elegance and lightness of touch in its works. In this style, we can stress that in its buildings there's always a white painted wall, and they usually have a front door with 2 columns crowning the building. This type of building predominates in terraces and questions. Some examples of Regency style could be Regent's Park in London, Lansdowne Crescent Royal Leamington Spa, the Palace Royal Leamington Spa, or Regency headquarters of Cheltenham Borough Council. It can also be observed in art. It is characterized by an Egyptian taste but also a Chinese one, because they imitate the bamboo and they paint some elements in black or gold color. Fireplaces and mirrors are very important in this room, and furniture must be in the middle of them, not against the wall. They try to combine the elements joining the architecture, indoors design and furniture. In the third gallery, you can observe the main characteristics of the Romantic painting. The Romantic painting arose in England at the beginning of the 19th century. The authors John Constable and Joseph Mallory William Turner were the predecessors. John Constable studied the light that was taking form in his works. Joseph Mallory William Turner gives more importance to the color than to the drawing. The Romantic painting is characterized for painting nature, landscapes, light and colors. The Romantic painting follows the neoclassic painting of the end of the 18th century. At first, the Romantic painting term was in use for recounting to the novel, but at the beginning of the 19th century, it is in use also for the plastic art.
In the last gallery, we are going to show you the Victorian architecture. Victorian is not really a style but a period in history. This period dates from about 1840 to 1900. Buildings constructed during the Victorian era had characteristics of different styles. During the early 19th century, the Romantic medieval Gothic revival style was developed. Those Gothic buildings feature arcs and pointed windows as well as some other details which were common in the Middle Ages. Fonthill Abbey or the Gilbert Scott building of the University of Glasgow are some examples of this style. The Palace of Westminster is neo-Gothic and was completed in 1870. During this period, industrialization brought innovations in architecture. Some of these can be seen in buildings such as the Crystal Palace. The Royal Albert Hall was opened in 1871, and it was constructed with terracotta, while the dome was made of wrought iron and glazed. In Scotland, the Scots baronial style has an emphasis on torrents and straight vertical lines drawn from tower houses. It is also remarkable the arts and crafts movement, which was originated in England and it used simple forms and also medieval, romantic or folk styles of decoration. This area ended up and since 1930 some modernist forms have appeared. although traditionalist resistance movements continue with support in important places, especially in England.